Yo, 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 how's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 29 of Life and Suffering of Sir Brent and Toy Story reference. A friend in need. You got a friend in need. That's how the song goes, right?
Is that actually how it goes? No, it's friend in me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not watched Toy Story since the third one, and I did not like the third one. I don't really like the first two.
The first one is the best, 100%. Yeah. Second one's really good. Third one's kind of depressing. Fourth one,
Never watched the fourth one.
You don't really need
I just remember, like, each time I watched one, I disliked the next one even more. And that's not usually the case in the sequels for me.
I think it was just because Toy Story 1 was just so good that Toy Story 2, like, I still found it good. I don't know. I don't know if it was missing something.
I think I just liked the Sid character in Toy Story 1, that he was, like, kind of a torturous asshole.
Yeah.
And then they had a lot of good jokes with the things he's made.
Oh, like, right. Oh, the what hooker? Is it? The hooker, yeah. The fishing rod with the Barbie doll legs or whatever. Yeah. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, last time, what did we do last time? Last episode, we made a decision that really helped us out a little bit. We decided, hey, silver mines should have gunpowder. And then we got some good stat bonuses. And then we had a totally irrelevant judge case or whatever happen, and then we kind of were locked out of the other decisions, so we had to make the only decision we could, which ended up lowering our justice down by 2 after we had just gained 2, so we're still at 7. We need to get 8 or 9 to get the ending we want. And then we had another bad thing kind of happened, is that gunpowder that we were like, hey, yeah, you can use it. Some people got hands on them and kind of started an uprising that shortly got destroyed. And I don't know, man. Things are going weird places.
That became a sudden downrising.
Yeah. Or they're going to say a sudden death. I mean, it was a sudden death, basically. There's a lot of people dead. A lot of people just kind of, yeah, not a fun time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, today we're gonna go through a friend in need, and I think that's our good friend Tomas, if I remember. Whoa. Yes, whoa. Tomas.
Gorilla.
Yeah, it's exactly what his name is. I can't remember who is reading.
It was you, I believe.
Okay, then I will keep reading. You arrive at the office one fine morning and find a visitor already sitting there. The visitor is none other than Tomas Guerrero. His heavy uniform already bears a captain's chevrons. That's right, he's fitting so many chevrons in his clothing.
A gas company.
He is supplying a lot of gas to that.
Oil company.
Either way, there's a lot of weird liquid in his pants. Anyways, Tomas looks nervous, his fingers drumming a foreboding staccato on the desk. What?
That's a weapon, I think.
That's okay.
A staccato?
A staccato?
A thin-bladed weapon? Long, cool. Thin-bladed weapon?
I did not know that. Why has your old friend decided to pay you a visit? You pat your friend on the shoulder and congratulate him on his promotion. Tomas shrugs, quietly brimming with pride. I got bumped up a month ago. Apparently the Legion is running short on decent officers. He has to change his accent every time because he's, like, undercover. I can't remember our story that we made for him, but he's, like... Last time, he went from being kind of, like... I don't know...
It's because the whole thing was about... You shouldn't be associated with me for some reason.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like, okay, then I'm not me.
Yeah. And then I realized why there are so few of them. Wish I knew my direct superior was gonna be our very own Commander Auton. Tomas grows grim at the mention of Auton. Listen, buddy, you and me, we always help each other out, right? That Arcanian bastard, well, he challenged me to a duel. For the second time, he cut me down a month ago. That was my second lesser death. I know I never told you, but it was tough. The gods, they spoke to me in there and in the hereafter. Right now I got something worse to worry about than the matters of the soul. See, Aton, he remembers me from the time at the academy when I stood up to him at the party. Now he's gonna kill me again and again until my true death comes. So it's a duel. That's Aton's way of having fun with his subordinates. Oh, jeez.
So because the gods talk to him, wouldn't that mean, like, he's now a prophet of the god, which he'll face true death if he dies at all?
No.
Because that's technically what they said before earlier in this game. It's like if you become a prophet or speak from the god thing, the next death is a true death because that's your purpose or something like that.
I don't remember.
I remember it being that way, but I don't remember why. They were like trying to explain where true death comes. I think it was one of the first instances where the true death came into
play. Okay.
So it was early in the game.
I don't remember from 4 months ago. So I was gonna say though, if because I thought we also kind of like talked to the gods a little bit or something when we died. Didn't we? Didn't we like we it definitely described like the area and like what was happening, but I thought we kind of like, I don't think they had proper dialogue, but I think it was something where it's like, oh, we spoke to the gods, or I might be making that up. I have no idea, but yeah, the way I'm trying to like think about it is that it's like, okay, for you to be a prophet, you kind of have to still be alive to talk to the gods, right? It's one of those things where it's like, okay, let's say you're on a skateboard, right? And you do this crazy, like, what's a really hard, like, skateboard move? Like a kickflip or something? Like an ollie?
Let's freaking 900, I guess.
Like, okay, yeah, so it's like doing a 900...
1080.
Yeah, it's like doing a 900 or 1080 or whatever, but then, like, messing it up and then falling. It's like, oh, you still kind of did it, but you didn't land it, right? In this case, the prophets are the people who landed it, right?
It's like, fuck, I fucked it up. I did a 1360.
Yeah, darn it, I did
1260.
I did too many rotations. Gosh darn it. Brent, I'm asking you as a friend, will you be my second at the duel? I know Prefect Elborn doesn't like any kind of sword fighting. It's one of the old traditions. Oh my god, that was a voice crack. Holy crap. He wants to put a stop to. But if I show up without a second, he won't just kill me for a third time, he'll dishonor me too. And then he'll kill me for a third time.
I'm sorry about my acting. Sometimes I screw up a little bit.
Yeah. You knit your brow in thought. In the prefect's opinion, dueling is a lawless tool of noble tyranny. Elborn sees duels as an outmoded way of circumventing the legal system. He would be crushed to learn that one of his judges had been involved in a duel. Tomas sighs heavily. I know this is hard, pal, but I've got no one else to turn to. All the boys in the Legion fear Aton like the plague. You're the only noble who can support me in this. But I know this duel won't be the end. Our great Sir Aton will find an excuse for a third duel before you know it. That'll be my last one for sure. Tomas rolls up the sleeve of his uniform. 2 pitch black lines encircle his forearm. He is desperate, and it is easy to see why. 1-on-1 against an Arcanian swordsman. He is doomed. The law forbids dueling. Oh god, we can't decline it. Okay, sorry. But if you refuse to show Tomas your support through your presence, your friend's spirit will be broken before his body can even be killed. You recall all of the encounters with Aton in your youth. Is there a chance the distinguished Arcanian still remembers you? If you go to him and speak in Tomas's defense, will he even bother to listen?
So, before you highlight it, I'm going to assume, agree to Tomas second, you have a death.
You know what? I'll agree with that too. And I think we would ruin this run if we did it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we have another choice, but I think we would ruin the run if we went with the first option.
Let's start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom? Okay, move up. Okay, decline Tomas's request. If we didn't have the bond of friendship, then we could refuse it. Our willpower would go up. Tomas would be in danger. and Tomas would not like us a little bit less. So that's not bad. Stop the duel from taking place. Dorius Auton's going to be a -1 to us, which is fine, whatever. Tomas Guerrero is going to go in hiding, which is cool. Our manipulation of all things had to be more than 12, or more than 10, which is kind of cool, because we're not really the manipulation side, thing, but it's good we had that, so that's good.
I mean, we needed to be equal to or greater than 0.
Then 0 with Dorius Auton, now 0, okay. I'm glad that we did that.
Yeah.
Or we could agree to be Tomas's second. Tomas is in danger. Tomas goes up by 1. Augustin Elborn goes down by 1. But honestly, I think it doesn't. But that's the thing, is it doesn't say that right now because it probably wouldn't happen right now. Yeah. Right? Like, it'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to go do this duel elsewhere. And then a whole chapter or a whole next section would be about the duel.
A chapter later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
It'd be like
later
the duel.
in the book.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's like, I think that's the reason why it doesn't say you get a death from it, because I think if our dueling skill is high enough, or our swordsmanship, then I think we actually can beat him. But we're a judge. We're not exactly the people to be fighting. We have good sword skills, but our valor I think is really good, but it's still I think in Arcnean, we're going to have 18 or something to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say let's stop the duel from taking place. That's probably a good option. Okay. All right, we're locking it in.
You have been best friends with Tomas ever since you were little boys. Does he really think you would abandon him to such a cruel fate? Dueling Auton is suicide, but there is a much better way to emerge from this predicament. You tell Tomas you will meet with Auton to make a deal with him. He will be safe from the Auton's harassment. Tomas so slowly shakes his head, unconvinced.
I'm happy you're so willing to help, buddy, but Auton, he isn't going to listen. Even Arcneans say he's a loose cannon. You're just another human to him. You're not even a noble of the sword. Yes, I am. I deep-throated that sword 3 times just to become a noble. I worked my way up on my knees, but that's okay.
You tell him that Auton will surely remember you, especially since you got his attention on several occasions. Back at the party of Eterna, Auton deigned to hear you. Deigned? What the hell does deigned mean?
No, I've heard that word before and I've seen it before. It's a weird, old English word. It's
deigned?
It's Auton. Yes, Auton complained. Deigned to hear you out when Tomas first attracted his ire. Okay, yeah, so it's he heard me out before, so he'll do it again. But it's deigned is he was accepting.
It's reluctantly listening. Okay, I will trust you over my better judgment of this situation.
It's kind of
kind of like that.
It's kind of he's using his time to. It's out of his way a little bit. He deigned to hear you as okay, yeah, he's willing to is probably the best way to explain it. He's willing to hear you out.
A courtesy rather than actual.
Yeah.
Wanting to.
I mean, he could have just said no or stabbed us in the face and got us a third death, but instead he heard us out. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Deigned to hear you out deigned to hear you out when Tomas first attracted his ire. Surely you can do it again.
My name's not Shirley, but haha, no one's ever made that joke before. You can try it, Brant, but I'm gonna prepare.
Great, by the way.
Which one?
The Airplane.
Oh, is that what it's from?
It's what it's from.
I didn't actually know that. Oh, jeez.
Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious. Also, don't call me Shirley.
I've heard it in a lot of different things, but I didn't know that's where it originated from. It's pretty funny. But I'm gonna prepare for the worst anyway. If Auton wants me dead, he's gonna have me dead sooner or later. Either way, thank you for being on my side.
Yeah, Airplane's from the 70s, I think? Early 70s, mid 70s?
Yeah, it's when...
it has Leslie Nielsen.
It's the year that airplanes were invented, right?
Sure. The Wright brothers. They got it wrong.
Yeah, but the movie got it right.
Before you leave to seek an audience with the commander, you ask Tomas for more information. What was Otton's excuse for challenging him to a duel this time? Why did it say up?
Here's what happened. Otton told me to head to a nearby village with a squad of Legion soldiers. Somina, it's called. The villagers refused to pay the Archduke's tax, said they already paid the tax to Guy's Tempest men. He's the overseer, so the law says the tax is his. So Otton told me and the lads to string up a couple of the rowdiest peasants and put their houses to the torch to teach them the rest of the lesson. So we went there. And let me tell you, buddy, I didn't join the Legion to start hanging people and burning villages. So we decided to have a word with the village elder first, before we burned their villages and hung their people.
We just needed a reason.
we just, yeah. You know what? We really antagonized the elder, so he would do something bad to us, so we could, justify doing this. So, it's what you do in the biz. The locals soon realized what was going on. Losing money is one thing, but losing a spare life is worse. They hemmed and hawed and finally found enough cash to pay Archduke Mila Kunis. Which means we came back to Anazot with nobody dead and all the money for the treasury. But then the commander summons me and claims I didn't follow his order, which means I also slighted the honor of the noble Archnean who's my commander, so he challenges me to a duel. And you know what? I'm not the first Brant, and I'm not the last. You're not even a Brant. Huh? Get it? Because he's not. I'm not the first Brant, because he's... Anyways, any officer of the Legion could end up like me. Otton does as he sees fit, with no plans to stop. He's a commander, he's a noble of the sword, he's an Archnean. We're just dirt under his boot. Who's gonna rein him in?
History. What?
His story
over.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's meaning like his story over, rather than his story
It's
over.
Read the rest of the sentence. Read the full sentence and you might...
His story over, Tomas leaves your office.
Yeah, so...
It makes sense, but it doesn't feel like it should.
It's like, his story over, Tomas leaves your office. But it makes more sense if you say it out loud than if you read it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasting no time, you head for Magra Armory, the headquarters of the province's high commander. And he is high. You approach the ancient barrack built of ruddy red stone. Between those walls and the outside world stands a tall fence. The same fence encircles the field nearby ever since the old days of the Archnean Republic. This has been the training ground of the named militia, and armed. It does not take you long to find Otton. He is in a square in front of the armory, inspecting the uniforms of lined up Legion troops, looking intently for faults. I have no idea who read this one because it's been a long time since I've seen this character.
I know, right? I feel like we haven't... I mean, this is our big bad guy right here. This is the guy that we're going to try and get sent to prison or whatever. So he's got to be mean. He's got to be vicious.
Who's mean and vicious that I could mimic? That's the part. Mimic. I was thinking of Frieza, but I can't do that.
You could do, here's a great one. Captain, if I noticed that even one of your...
Mickey Mouse!
Mickey Mouse, the ultimate antagonist.
The ultimate encroaching army that takes over everything.
Yep. Oh my god.
Captain, if I notice that even one of your 100 troops is not in compliance with the uniform code, I will take it as a personal insult. If you don't wish to insult my honor, do you? Wait, you don't wish... Yeah, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? The Legion captain is in question, stands before him. He promises to do his best, his voice shaking. Satisfied, Otton takes his seat and begins reading an essay because he likes English, especially on military strategy. You seize this opportune moment to approach the commander, tactfully draw his attention, and introduce yourself. Brent? Oh, yes. Aren't you the same young man who my old servant girl Sophia got mixed up with? I don't remember what... I wonder what happened to that little tart. This is really weird. So you grew up to become a prefecture judge, is he? You're gonna really, not make my voice super harsh after editing because
I'm gonna explode the audio channels with your high-pitched voice. It's gonna be great.
So you grew up and became a prefecture judge, is he? Not much of a step up from a commoner, but I will grant you a bit of my time. What brings you here? You explain you are here to petition for Thomas Guerrero. No, it's Guerrero.
Guerrero.
He's a captain. He will never reject a duel when his honor is on the line. But Sir Otton must surely realize that the duel will not be an even one. Would the esteemed High Commander of Magra be kind enough to choose a different officer for his exercise? Surely a sword master such as the esteemed Sir Otton can find no shortage of clumsy, low-born soldiers to duel. You think I don't know what I want, Brant? You think I can't decide for myself? That son of a whore Guerrero had the nerve to disobey my orders? He insulted me, and I will not allow such a stain upon my honor of my family. You think your pitiful excuse will change this?
Did you say my beautiful excuse?
I said pitiful, and an excuse, and rather than excuses.
Oh, well, I don't know why, but the pitiful just sounded like you said beautiful.
Pitiful.
The beautiful.
I said it with a B. Yeah. I said it with a B instead of a P.
Pitiful.
You humbly ask, so that's why people think I'm always complimenting them.
Yeah.
I just keep calling them pitiful, and they're like, cool, thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. It's the nicest thing you said to me.
You humbly asked the commander to show mercy to a man who was but a commoner a few years before. Show mercy, you say? Well then, I agree, but only on one condition. He must quit my legion immediately. I will strip him of his captain's rank and pay. And then he will leave and never show himself again, or that will be his final insult. If your pitiful friend is willing to throw away his noble title and end his days in poverty, then I have no desire to fight him. No Archdeacon will ever do such a lonely filth. Tell him to bring me this letter of resignation in person.
You know, he's not that much of a dick. That laugh. Oh my god. Oh jeez. I was gonna say, he's not that much of a mean person. He just called our friend beautiful. You know, if your beautiful friend is willing to throw away a noble title, yeah, sure.
Remember this, I granted you my time only because of all the unpleasant memories of my Sophia. Do not expect me to hear your groveling again in the future. You and your family ought to consider whether scum such as Guerrero is worth your trouble. It's time to break the news to Tomas. He looks very conflicted when he learns of the deal you have struck with Otton.
Really? Otton agreed to let me leave the Legion? I can't believe he even bothered to hear you out. Does that mean I'm finally free from his harassment? Thank you, my friend. You've saved me from true death. But if I leave the Legion, what will I do then? That's the most humiliating thing there is. All the work I put into joining the military would be wasted. I'm starting to go Kermit the Frog a little bit.
Just one more change.
Yeah. He's like, I'm slowly changing before my eyes. Oh my god. I'd have no job. Oh god, it's full-blown Kermit. I'd have no job, no pay, and I'd never be a nobleman again. I have to think about this, but one way or another, you've bought me some time, and I still have 2 lives left. All thanks to you, buddy. Cool. Fun stuff. We did it. We saved our friend, which is kind of cool, I guess.
The day after your meeting with Tomas, time slows to a crawl. As you examine one case after another, you cannot help but think back to your friend and his fate. Again and again, there is a knock at the door. Baron Elborn, the prefect, has decided to pay you a visit. Vegeta again, yes, right. I have a matter to discuss with you, Brant. Would you mind that if we take a walk? It's getting a bit stuffy in here. The prefect clearly wants to discuss something in private. You walk down the stairs together and leave the prefecture. Soon the two of you are walking down the noisy streets of Brass District. The wind is strong today, the gray sky mercifully overcast. The people around you are bartering, buying, and selling eagerly. The greeting... wait, I was reading something else. My greeting.
I was going to say.
I'm like, where... something with a G and streets made it greeting. The streets are full of craftsmen and factory workers. Merchant carts squeak as they roll down the street. The head of the prefecture looks more worried than usual, lost in thought as he observes the bustling street life around him. Brant, do you recall... That's Total Recall.
I was going to say, as soon as you said recall, I was like, Total Recall!
Brant, do you recall how we talked about the tyranny of the nobility of the province? Dorius Auton, the High Commander of Magra, is on the murderous spree. He challenges the subordinates to a duel with the slightest infraction and slaughters them with impunity. If our law is unable to protect anyone from the violent tyranny of the Arctians, who will ever respect the law? It's time we put an end to this. As long as I'm in charge of the prefecture, establishing the rule of law of the people of all the states and titles is our most important task. But people like Auton stand in our way. People who think of themselves above the law, we need to prove them wrong. This is really hard to read it with a dry mouth. I need to get some water.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that at the end of this.
Yeah, sure.
I've been informed that Auton has pressured your childhood friend, Captain Thomas Guerrero, into a duel. And I believe Sir Guerrero has sought your assistance in private. Am I right? You admit that it is so. Indeed, as an old friend, Tomas, sometimes you like to call him Thomas.
Depends what disguise he's on.
Yeah,
sometimes he's Thomas, sometimes he's Tomas.
Is counting on you to defend him. You regret saying this out loud to Elborn.
Yeah.
And so, young Brant, I believe that to be reason enough to entrust this case to you officially. If you find yourself doubting your abilities, know that you are my best candidate. No other judge would have the courage to prosecute the Arcanian. Canadian? What?
The Arcanians are actually Canadians? Canadian?
Step up from a Canadian?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Like the Arknights or something like that?
Yeah, like the next level of Canadian is the Arcanadian.
What was I reading? That prosecute an Arknian. That, and I trust you more than an ordinary judge. Any ordinary judge. So I'm an ordinary judge, but not any ordinary.
No, I trust you more than any ordinary judge. So that means I'm not ordinary.
Oh, I'm extraordinary.
I'm extraordinary. I'm super ordinary.
I spoke to your father, but he would not accept this undertaking. He says your family has worked too hard to be ennobled by the sword to risk it all now. But you bear no such burden, do you? As it stands right now, sentencing an Arcanian to even the smallest punishment is unthinkable. But drop by drop, water can wear down any stone. Oh, all right. I had a really weird burp.
Oh no.
We will make our way to Auton, but we must do it slowly and carefully. What we need is a perfectly prepared case. First, you turn it on simmering heat. We need you to find enough incontrovertible evidence to enough witnesses who are willing to testify in court.
Were you making a joke about a perfectly prepared case?
Yes.
Needing to heat it up and cook it? Yes, this prepared case, or this case is very, it's very moist. It
is very medium rare.
Yes. I asked
but I'm sure you...
Yeah. Never mind.
But I'm sure you realize that even this won't be enough to force an Arcanian to go to trial. Don't you, Brent? We have to change the unspoken rules in our city and province. We'll start with lower-ranking people. Lower-ranking cases, simmered very well. And then little by little, we'll establish rules, and even highborn nobles will have to obey. I'm just thinking this guy is crazy and just likes cooking cases.
Yeah. The reason he became a judge is because that's the thing, is he wanted to cook cases.
Overturn the status quo of like, that's not weird to cook your case.
Yeah. I feel like he got hired for the job and then he realized that the job wasn't cooking cases, and so that's why he hired us as like his underling or whatever. He's like, oh, here, you're smart with what you actually need to do to be a judge, so you go do it all. I'm gonna sit here and boil my cases.
All of a sudden, Elborn stops, standing in the middle of the street, bustling with life. He points out a number of commoners hurrying about their businesses.
And we'll find out what their business they're hurrying about next time. That made perfect sense.
They're trying to run away from Elborn because they keep trying to cook their cases. Yeah. They're business people, goddammit.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, I don't know how many of them could afford cases, but imagine if, one of them was like, I saved up for so long, I can finally buy a case. He goes out, buys a case, literally exits the shop, and then Elborn is standing right there. He's got like a little bit of drool in his mouth, like staring at it. He takes the case and he just simmers it over a fire, eats it, gives him like plus 3 health. I mean, that's pretty good. It's decent. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Do the things you do for everyone else, but do it for us. And, Brent, I don't want to say it now, but if this is the case against Auton right now, this might be the place that we needed to have 7 career or 7 justice for. This might be the part where we needed it for.
Oh, that's brutal.
If it is, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, I'm gonna be upset, but I'm not gonna be upset because no, screw it. I'll go one way. I'll be upset.